Hey all you crazy Shiftonites, Justin Miller here. Don't forget that right now you are watching the one, the only, The Shift.
What's going on, family? Good to be back. This is Chris Ramsey. Welcome to The Shift. As you can tell, my voice is a little bit hoarse. I just recently got back from the Buffalo 52 convention. It's a pretty secret convention with like only 52 people invited in Buffalo, which takes place every year. Some really big names there, guys like Bill Malone, Gazzo, some good friends of mine like Tony Chang, Xavier Spade, Mark Calabrese, Nicholas Lawrence, who was there. So really cool magicians. And I didn't actually get to film a lot over there. And the reason being is because during that convention, there was also a lot of sort of gambling experts that were there, which didn't appreciate the camera being thrown in their face. So I found that out pretty quickly. And so therefore, I don't have any content from the trip for you. However, I did do some demoing of a product, which we'll get into in a second. But before that, let's announce the winner of last week's contest and get that out of the way. The winner is Chevy Dodd. No, not sure if that's your real name, but you win. So hit us up, facebook.com/Murphy's Magic Supplies, and we'll send that out to you ASAP. To win this week's effects, 2 really cool visual effects, simply like this video and comment below what you thought of the effects and what you think of the show, and we'll send out one of these, or both of these prizes to one of you guys next week. Alright, before we get into the products, I want to talk a little bit about something we just released actually last week, which is Cut 2.0 by Rand Pink. If you're familiar with Cut, it is an effect where you cut yourself and it visually heals itself. Now this might not be for everybody, but there are applications that don't involve looking like you mutilate yourself. And for those who love this type of stuff, Halloween's just around the corner. This is why we released it last week. You guys need to do this at a party. I mean, how cool would that be? Accidentally cut yourself and be like, but wait, I'm a demon. Right? So Cut 2.0 by Rand Pink. I'll leave the link below where you guys can check out the trailer, and you can also check out Rand and Jason Brumbelow talk about the product and sort of go back and forth on a little behind the scenes. Also this week on Wednesday, October 21st, we are hosting an At the Table lecture with Also this Wednesday, October 21st, we are hosting an At the Table lecture with none other than Martin Lewis. And if you're not familiar with Martin Lewis, check out the Rose Pad or the Rising Card Pad, where you draw a card, it's not theirs, you draw a box, and the card rises out of the box. You then hand out that piece of paper as a souvenir to the audience member. It's an insane trick, great for stage. If you want something that translates well for a whole audience, it's visual, that's insane, this is absolutely amazing. So we'll have him joining us at the table. I'll leave the link below where you guys can check out a little bit more about what's going to go on. Alright, let's get into the dealio. This week we're actually looking at 2 Sans Minds products. Sans Minds have been putting out a lot of content these days, so I thought I'd get 2 of these out of the way, and a lot of you guys wanted to know a little bit more about these products. So we got Oh Snap by Jibrizy, and we have Travel by Jordan Victoria. So let's start with Oh Snap. This is a performance I did in my home. And the reason was I was going to do it live over there in Buffalo, but the gimmick actually broke and I had to fix it back here. Now it wasn't hard to fix, I just didn't have the material I needed to fix it. But anyways, check out the performance, we'll talk about the product after this. So as a magician, we're often asked if we can turn anything into money, why aren't we millionaires? Well, here's the reason. See, I have a $4 deck and I can only turn it into $2. But wait a minute, I'm Canadian, so that's like $7. I've got some work to do. Humorous little performance of Oh Snap. As you can see, it's a very visual product. I actually really like this. I messaged Jibrizy and I said, man, this is cool, it's fun, and it's visual. There are a few things that I want to get into, but let's start by talking about what you get. You get the DVD. Within the DVD, you have all the explanations needed. They even teach you how to, they teach you a weird build, which you don't really need because the gimmick comes completed, so I'm not sure what that's about. but you do get a complete gimmick. All you need to do is add the currency to it. So whatever currency you might have, whether it's plastic money, paper money, whatever, you add the currency. That takes about 5 minutes. It's literally really fast, and then you're ready to perform this effect. So it's a beginner level effect. Anybody can do this. It's great for camera if you're doing, you know, some camera stuff, some Instagram stuff, or if you want to just promote yourself in a way. It's also great. I've had some ideas how I could use this in a performance, sort of like a real world performance where you go to pay for something and then that happens. I'm gonna put up a video when I get that done because I don't want to spoil the idea just yet. But there are so many creative things you can do this, and I imagine you don't have to actually do with money. You can do with all sorts of things, right? So that's up to you. I really like that. So Jibrizy does a few live performance takes. In my personal opinion, those live performance tapes aren't exactly what you would do in the real life because there is a preparation to do. There is a sort of a little bit of setup, and that setup sort of has to be done with two hands. Can't just be done with one hand. So it's really hard to set something up with two hands. Now they teach a way you can do that behind your back, etc. But it's quite difficult, I'll be honest. So if I were to do something like that, I would need to have some really good misdirection, or I would have to start with that. And it's not such an effect you want to start off with unless you walk up, let's say you walk up to a table and say, I'm going to show you guys a card trick. And you're like, you know what, every magician does card tricks, check this out. Bam, let's do a money trick, and then go into that. So that could be something cool you could do as an opener. Or as like a prelude to a money effect. So all in all, it's really well taught. It's well produced. The gimmick is great, and yeah, nothing else to say about it. It's a highly visual effect. It looks really cool. So if you guys want to just have something that looks visual, it doesn't take any skill, this is a great product. So check it out. Oh Snap by Jibrizy and Sans Minds. Next up on the plate, we have Travel by Jordan Victoria. Now, I did a performance of this in Buffalo to someone. However, the performance that I did was not what you see on the trailer. It was a performance I adapted, and so let's watch it and I'll give you the reason after that.
I got two cards here. Check that out. Open it up. Ta-da! Duplicates. We're gonna try something interesting. So could you hold your hand out and cover it up with this hand, and you're gonna hold one of these two, right? And the idea is that they're gonna switch places. You got this down here? All right, that's the idea, anyways. Hopefully this works. So if I just want to do just like that, it kind of looks like I've switched places with yours, which is now the blue card.
So that was my performance of Travel by Jordan Victoria. Within this, you get the gimmick completely ready once again. You don't need to do anything. The gimmick is done. It's a great effect if you want to just, this is what I did. I put the folded gimmick and the other folded card in my wallet, and I was good to go. So I could just pull it out and do it whenever. It's a cool little 2-card transpo that you can do with this, which is really fun. It's fooling for audiences. My problem with it is that it does make a sound. So when the change happens, there's a click sound, right? And what's funny is that Oh Snap doesn't even have that big of a sound. And this one is just a little thing, and it's actually a pretty loud sound. So I didn't want to do that. I think in the trailer you see him performing in the streets, and I think the streets, the noise, the cars, and everything gives you great cover. But in actuality, the sound here, hold on. I'll give you guys an example of how it's supposed to look like. That's how it's supposed to look like, and which is really visual. But as you can tell, there's a pretty loud click. So the way I did it was I didn't actually do it according to them. It was just a sort of impromptu thing that I thought of. I said, okay, let's do this. It's not a visual change, not as visual as I cover the card for a little bit, but I do end clean and my hands are empty except for that card. So I think it's still pretty good for a spectator. So that all depends whether you want to do it on camera in a noisy area or whether you want to do it to someone one-on-one. You can change around the handling, but the gimmick is pretty versatile and it is easy to fix. They do hook you up with some stuff in case it breaks. So nothing bad to say there. The production quality once again was great. Another easy trick to do, beginner level, and you can carry it around your pocket, so it's no pocket space, just put it in your wallet. So that was Travel by Sans Minds and Jordan Victoria. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed this week's episode of The Shift. Thank you so much for tuning in, and we'll see you guys next week. Have a great Sunday, but it is Monday. Whatever. We'll see you next Sunday. Take care. Peace.